All right, guys, welcome to Onelife Podcast. Here with Jose today. The reason I got him is he's a very talented Las Vegas photographer. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here in your podcast, man.
I'm very interested to talk to you about your photography journey. A few things like there's a lot of photos out there, there's a lot of different styles, but I really resonate with what you do, your style, the way you light things. I think you do a fantastic job, and I'm very interested in talking to you.
Thank you, boss. And I follow you too because you're enthusiastic and the way that you persist things, and I like that about you.
We kind of encourage each other, don't we?
Yeah. Yes, I do. And actually, one of the things that had helped me a lot is to follow those type of people. That you can get encouraged every day.
Absolutely right.
And try to stay away from negative people. People that they're just there, they're watching you, but they're not supporting you. I heard that one of your podcasts that you had before, you had 5 best friends, Yeah. It's hard to find those friends.
They really is, right?
It's really hard. I can say that I have like 2, maybe 3 friends,
which is amazing that you've got
3
that.
Friends that actually, they're people that actually be there for me, and they will help me, and give me good advice, not advice. I do have tons of friends that actually call me or invite me to go out, drink, and do that type of life, which I don't anymore.
Okay.
So,
how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 46.
Okay, I'm 42.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely. So, how did I became a photographer?
How long ago was it, and how did you fall into it?
So it's been 7 years, I will say, 7, 8 years.
And you started with photos, right?
No, I actually, like I did mention before, I used to have a venue, a banquet hall, here in Vegas, North Las Vegas. It was great, So I started with the venue with another partners. And I hire a photographer to go to do the events.
Yep.
And customers were complaining about, not delivering what they were expecting.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, another photographer, he mentioned me that that I should do it.
You should learn it.
I should do it. So he even told me to buy the equipment that he was going to teach me. So I got all excited and went and bought the equipment. And then when I went and reached out to him, he's like, now go sign up to college.
Oh, so he bailed on you.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, it's fun because now...
how much worth of gear did you buy?
Huh?
How much worth of gear had you purchased?
Well, at the moment, it's it was like maybe like 1,500.
Okay.
So...
But I mean, still.
It's still, but I remember my Canon camera from Costco that I went to buy, and I buy a green screen because I
He just left you hanging.
I don't know, man. I was so excited, and then he told me to go to CSN, and I went to CSN, but I was struggling with the language too. Like right now, I speak very fluid. I feel more comfortable. At the beginning, I did it because my first language is Spanish. So
when did you come to the States?
So I came to the United States, I will say 17 years ago.
Okay.
So my background is I have a business administration degree. I have a programming computer degree and repairing computer degree.
All done in Mexico.
All done in Nicaragua, from Nicaragua. So
gotcha.
So all the experience that I have, the only thing that I was missing is that, the language, I did had a little bit of knowledge of the language, but then over here, studying by myself, and, now that I work for the bank, I was mentioning, I work for Wells Fargo, been with the company for 8 years, so had helped me a lot, to
absolutely.
improve everything. Yeah. So, like I said, when I had the venue and I started the venue doing and everything, and I started doing the photography, I was doing like amateur, new on this. So
so you just picked the camera up and
I picked the camera and started doing it, learning shooting. And doing.
Just talk to me about that quickly. I feel like so many people wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect equipment, And for me, from personal experience, as soon as I had a camera, I went out and I shot.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter how bad it was. I was every day, I was practicing. And by practicing, you get better, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Or if you sit at home and you don't shoot, you don't improve. Mm-hmm. So you kind of just grabbed that camera and took some action.
So basically, a lot of people, what they do is they go out and took pictures, and when they see the first photo, they get excited, and they're like, oh, wow, that's amazing, and they keep doing the same thing, but they don't actually go and review their photos.
Okay.
So one of the things that I do notice is that I didn't want to be another one, because photographer, there's a lot of people right now that they just get the camera and they say they're a photographer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone can do that.
Models, photographers,
exactly,
videographers,
everything. So
podcasters.
Yeah. So basically, what I did, I didn't want to be another one.
Okay.
So I want to be that when I want the customer to see when they ask for, I need some headshots done, or you want to go to this person, or you want to do a quinceañera. Okay, the top of quinceañera photographer is Jose or Karelin. It's me. Okay. Go and see his work. So that's where I want to be. And then be able to charge what I worth.
Yeah.
So when customers, they call me and they ask me how much you charge, so right away I see they're not looking for quality. They're looking for the cheapest one.
Nickel and diming, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's not my customers.
Okay.
And I understand. So the market is for everybody. But if they're looking for quality, I always tell customers, hey, you want to see my work first? Go to my website, go to my Instagram, check my work. And if you like what you see, let's come to my office, sit down, and then we can talk about prices and see what you're looking for.
Okay. I like that. I can totally relate.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shoot everybody and anybody. I'm trying to do the highest quality I possibly can.
Right.
And have people not even questioning the price.
Yeah. So
this is what I want. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to pay for it.
So now going back at your question that you're saying about how do I became better, because I wasn't this level of photography before. So what I did, remember when I reached out to you, that was what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, probably 2 years.
3 years ago. Okay. So back then I was almost finishing, getting the knowledge of the lighting.
Yeah.
So right now I feel like I'm master when it comes to lighting. It's a piece of cake. Back in the day, those 3 years ago, I was like struggling.
Yeah.
Like I literally wanted it quick. I won't be able to do this. So I did find a mentor, which is a friend of mine now. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Diego Vanega.
Okay.
And actually he helped me a lot in a way that I will go and shoot and then bring the work for he to review it. And he will give me honest, review, hard, honest, you did this.
Which is great, right?
Yeah, it's not like you did great.
Yeah, it shuts your ego down, but it makes you grow. Yes. And I feel like a true friend is able to do that. Yes. If you're like you said, you just keep patting around.
Yeah, you did great. Oh, it was
you're
beautiful.
Not progressing. I want someone to be honest with me too.
So he's always honest. He always tell me this, you want me to give you the fat
you
want me to tell you straight too. And I'm like, tell me, it doesn't matter if it hurt. And he's like, this and this and this, and I'm like, oh, and what I do is I go back. So that year I start working with a friend of mine that he does he gets models and quinceañeras and do classes and that. So he had a lot of those.
Okay.
And what I did is say, hey, you know what? I'll do the photo shoot for free.
Just for the practice.
For the practice, So I did for an entire year, literally every weekend, between weekend doing photos. And
I cannot encourage that enough. As far as free photo shoots, free video, if it gets you out there and it gets you shooting, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
I call it free for fee. Do it for free. And then, and that's the thing too. Nobody knows that you did it for free. because you start posting this content. It's not like, hey, look at this free photo shoot I just
No.
did. They just see the quality of the work, and then
Right.
people start reaching out to you, and you look active.
Yes.
So no one knows if I did a video, a photo for free. They just know that I shot that business or I shot that person.
And then like I did mention before, you follow people that actually encourage you. Like I wasn't posting until I watched your video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't posting that much.
What video?
Your videos, one of like 2-3 years ago, that you start, like booming with the videos, so and saying, encourage people. So I'm like, this guy, it's on something.
That's amazing.
It makes sense,
That's
what
like
you're
the
saying,
ultimate,
so
that's like the ultimate compliment for me, because I do this stuff and I do this stuff and I try to get across to people and nobody likes it, nobody comments. But just the fact that I influence one person to take more action is all I need, which is amazing.
And what happened is that this world where we're living right now, that's how it is. We kind of become selfish and we don't appreciate,
And we're tearing each other down. We're insecure.
Exactly.
We're not trying to build each other.
Exactly. But to be honest with you, so that's why, I do follow you. I do see your work. I do see that you're a talent, person, and I know that you're gonna succeed because you're doing the right thing. So
that.
To become where I'm becoming or what I'm getting or where I want to be is not from one day to another. It's hard and you gotta do it. You work every day. Wake up every day, every morning. Like I got my work from 8 to 5, and then I have to work. I gotta do things.
Right?
Yeah,
because no one else is gonna do it for you.
Exactly.
And you can twiddle your thumbs and point the finger and make every excuse, but excuses just get you more excuses.
Correct.
And you are a person of action. I love that. That's amazing. I'm so glad. And you are someone who inspires me. Your photography is amazing. Your lighting is like on point. I'm very big on lighting, but I like seeing someone who's better than me because it makes me push to get better.
Yeah.
So I love seeing your work pop up. And honestly, there's not many people in town who inspire me like you do. So you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, thank you. And you're welcome to come to my shoot. I have a group where there's a few photographers, and I'm always inviting them to come. But they don't come. I don't understand why,
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, when I started the photography, I had to pay. To go and assist another photographer, I pay him. I went and helped him out to do a wedding, and I was carrying his light, and I paid him $100.
Gotcha. Well, I was on the same page. I had a photographer that I looked up to, and I reached out to him. I'm like, can I come to your shoot? Can I do this? Can I do that? He's like, maybe. I was like, what is it going to take for you to help me? He's like, pay me $500. Send him $500 that day. We started the next day. I now make between $300 to $600 per hour. That one $500 payment has come back 100-fold, 1,000-fold. It'll come back 100,000-fold. But if I didn't ask, I didn't persist, I didn't do what it takes, I'd still be twiddling my thumbs, wondering how to shoot, how to light things.
Yeah.
So I totally get it.
It's just a matter of, like, be persistent. Everything in life, you have to be persistent.
And you don't have to take no for a no, do you? There's always a different way or a different approach or a different person. Or there's always another way.
There's always another way.
I love that. What camera do you use?
So I started shooting with Canon.
Okay.
And then when there was a time where Canon wasn't doing nothing good, so I did love the colors, and I had my mentor, my friend, he actually came to the state one day, and he was carrying a Sony camera, and I started playing with the Sony camera like for 2 days, and I fell in love with.
Was it a mirrorless?
It was a mirrorless camera.
What camera was it?
I don't remember. It was one of I think it was like 7.2, something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
And then
full frame mirrorless.
Yeah. So I start, and then I start doing reviews, like, because now on YouTube you literally find everything. So and then the 7.3 came out, one of the best camera that
A7 III?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what's shooting us right now.
Yeah,
I got
so
another one out there. I'm
got
about to buy a 4.
I got 3 of those, and now I have the 7.4.
Oh, you do have it?
I do have
I'm just about to buy that, actually.
Yeah, it's a great
Is
camera.
it, how much of a step up is it from the 3?
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. I mean,
because you're going to 32 megapixel,
you get more
4K 60.
It's
the big reason for me is there's no 30-minute time limit on the recording limit.
Right.
So right now this camera turns off every 30 minutes.
Right.
As soon as you get the 4, it doesn't do that anymore.
Right.
And that's the biggest selling point for me.
Right. And it's a great camera. I tell my friends, look, you have to invest on yourself. You got to invest on your equipment. You have to invest on your what you offer. You have to invest on your studio, because when you have a customer coming into your studio and your studio doesn't have that presentation, or it looks like so when they come to my studio and they see right away, it's like, this is not cheap. It's like when you go have you go to those fancy restaurants, they have like the other day I went to a catering place, and it was everything. It looks like so fancy, so nice, so neat. Well,
it's kind of like the Cosmo compared to Excalibur or something, right?
Yeah, and
the perception.
The perception, and right away you're setting in mind that it's not gonna be cheap. So same thing with the equipment. When you buy good equipment, your result is gonna be better.
Yeah, right? If you rock up the iPhone or you rock up with a proper camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
where's your studio? Is that at your house? Or?
So right now my studio it's at my house. I actually built the garage as the studio.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I kind of wish I had more room here.
So I did that. Right now I'm the process. Nobody knows. I haven't said anything, but
You're about to tell the world.
Yeah. So right now I'm trying to get a lease. It's
for commercial.
Yeah, it's a 1,200 square footage.
Okay.
It's big.
You're busy enough, you're consistent enough where you know that you're going to be able to pay that rent and make money.
Yeah, definitely. So but
you wouldn't jump into that day one, would you?
I think I'm ready. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean if you just started doing photography, you wouldn't just set up a studio and hope for the best.
Oh no.
I feel like it's important to build your name and your following.
So there's a lot of things that I'm coming, like even the name of the studio, it's Karelin Studio for a reason. It's not just Karelin Photography or photographer. My goals is like to have like a brand name where I can have photographers and videographers work for me.
Okay.
Work for the company. Let's put it that way. So that's my goal. I do have a websites that I bought it like 5 years ago, and now I pay literally $1, and right now they're worth like 3,000, 5,000 just for the name. Gotcha. Which is called Photo Walk Las Vegas.
It's what?
It's called Photo Walk Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I bought it with a vision that I could, do a photo walk for people that comes other state.
Yeah, okay. Along the strip or downtown?
The strip or just do something. I know.
Especially with social media, everybody wants that cool content.
Exactly. So that was my goal, and I still have it. I had the name and everything. But that's what I want to do in the future. Have a big studio where I can work with another colleagues, photographers, and offer customers. If they want to do like maternity, have a photographer that does his best on maternity, do babies, because that's a totally another world. Do photography for a baby.
Really is.
But there's a big market.
Well, there's a baby born every seconds, right?
And same thing with the maternity.
Yeah.
There's a big market there.
There's always someone pregnant. Yeah.
So have another, photographer that that's what he does.
I gotcha.
My studio,
okay. So he's a specialist in maternity photos.
Exactly.
You get the work and then you outsource to him.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Have you seen there's some doctors that they own the office and they have different doctors.
Yep.
That's,
Just like that.
That's
Love
the
that.
concept.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the goal of any business, right, is to be able to step back, oversee, start delegating, because you can only make so much money per hour, and there's only so many hours in a week. So now you're starting to leverage yourself, right?
Yeah.
By doing so.
So that's my goal. You know, at the end of the day, we're getting old. We're not getting young. You know. So.
And while you're at the bank, you can have people out shooting maternity and making money, can't you? So you're making multiple streams of income.
So I'm being blessed. I have a good job. You know, I have the photography that I'm passionate to do. I feel it. I never thought that I was going to do photography, you know, but now I do it and I enjoy, you know, so that's why I give my 100%.
Do you think that's the biggest thing about photography or any type of content creation is the passion is the first thing? Like do you feel like you can take nice photos if you're not passionate about it? Like you and I are very passionate about what we do, right?
Not really.
Like I did some photos last night. They looked amazing. It makes me so happy. The client's so happy. To me, that's what it's about. It's in here.
You know what? I want to say yes, and that's what everybody says. But to be honest with you, it's about money. For me,
you?
it's money.
Okay. This is your income. This is where you're making money.
It's money.
But you also love it too, right?
I do love it now. I was like, I never thought, like I said, you know, my background is totally different. It's business administration. It's business, you know, and other things, you know. Pictures. Yeah, not taking pictures. I never thought. I'm telling you, I swear to God, if someone would told me like, hey, you wouldn't be a photographer.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was I was getting photos taken of me. I never thought I'd be behind the camera.
So to be honest with you, it's not the passion. It's actually the goal that you have in set of mind. Because when you set up goal in your mind and you want to accomplish that goal, you don't stop.
Otherwise, yeah, no, I totally agree.
So if
and most people even setting goals, are they?
Exactly. And if you don't get better on what you do, you cannot expect for people to pay you more.
100%. What?
I have a friend photographer that he's making almost $500,000 a year.
Really? That's amazing.
And when I met him and he encouraged me to take classes, he was making like 30 grand, 40 grand a year.
Which is average wage for a photographer. Yeah.
And right now he's making $500,000.
So what's he doing differently now? Is he outsourcing? Is he just charging?
No, he invests in himself.
Okay.
Invest in equipment. So, and he practiced until like, I don't know how many courses he took, or he doesn't stop.
Gotcha.
So it's not only like practicing, you have to go and educate yourself. And to be honest with you, there's right now on this day, it's not hard because in YouTube, it's literally everything.
There's so much access to information.
And
I love what
cheap
you're saying.
Before.
Yeah.
It's so cheap before.
Yeah.
It's that before, you know, like right now you can get a course for $27. You can learn so much.
I love what you're saying. Everything I've learned about photography and videography has been on YouTube. I've bought a videography course that cost me $800 and I made my money back the same week. Yeah.
But you have to, you did have to put time and effort to do it, right?
Yeah.
And there's
time in the gym, we say time under the bar, time behind the lens, right?
Exactly.
It's the same concept. Failing forward, constantly practicing, constantly revising, going to people for honest critical advice so you improve.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, what makes a good photo? I know that's a very open question, but from your interpretation of what makes a beautiful photo?
So I think that a beautiful photo, it's all relevant, you know, because you can, as a photographer, I can see the photo and I can say, I don't like it. You know, I don't like the photo. But into the eyes of the customer,
that happens all the time, beautiful. Doesn't it? I'm like, I hate that photo, and they love it, and I love that photo, and they're like, meh.
Yeah. So to avoid that to happen, I try to make it look perfect on camera.
Using lighting and
using lighting.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same. I try to do little to no editing if I can. Try to do as much in camera as possible. And I feel like a lot of people do the opposite. They do it half-assed and then, hey, I can always fix it in Photoshop.
So what happened right there, you just make a good observation, is that, and it did happen to me a lot, because when you're starting, you get excited. You see, and you start taking pictures, and you get so excited, and you forget about like what's the composition.
Yeah.
You forget about the background.
You're chopping foots off. There's a pole growing out of your head.
Exactly. And
all
then,
these like rookie mistakes, right?
And then when you go and you see the computer, you're like, wow, the hell was thinking? Why I didn't notice this?
I think I know where you're going here. See, so you're talking, you're probably, same thing I do. I will take my time, I will light it, I will frame it, I'll get the composition, and it just takes 1 or 2 nailed photos, and then I move on. Yes. I don't need 100 okay photos when I know I've got 2 to 5 good photos.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I know you're probably big on that. That's what you're getting at, isn't it?
Yeah. So, for example, let's say that I have a photo shoot for a customer, and maybe I'm gonna only need 5, but I take about 100, max 100. You know, so
but 100 really good photos.
But really good, like good lighting,
and then those
good
5 of the
perfect
ones.
5 of the perfect, and then I tell the customer, this is your 5. You want a luxury retouching, like the one that you see on Instagram, and that's, they choose to always to get it, but I try to I create templates. I create templates like how the photo shoot is gonna take place.
Okay.
I send those templates to the customer like, hey, this is gonna take this place. You need to bring this for them to be prepared.
Which
I'm
is
always
awesome.
Yeah, I'm always good on time. I'm always like 15-30 minutes before the photo shoot.
I had a shoot yesterday and I got there early and I was downtown. Life is Beautiful was getting set up. So all the locations I had in mind were all caged up, locked up. But because I got there early, I had time to adapt.
Yeah.
If I got there dead on time, I would have been chasing my tail. So I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. So you have to, even though if the customer is late, it's the customer, not me. So
oh my God.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know if you have the chance to go to my Google and see my reviews. Every single customer, I have a review.
Really?
So
that's amazing.
So right now I have about 140 something reviews. That I think, so yeah. So for me now, I'm focusing on getting more reviews.
Okay.
People talk. So, and I'm putting those reviews on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Let me tell you, how do I found that? Because I follow another real estate. So I follow different people. It doesn't have to be photography.
No, it's business is business.
Yeah. So that business was doing something that I did like. And I'm like, you know what? I can use this for my business.
You can take pieces from anybody.
Yeah.
I read about 60 business books per year, and none of them about photography. They're all about business, marketing, social media, people skills. They all go back to what I do.
Yeah.
Whether you think they do or they don't, they all come back to what your business is.
So it does help you. And I'm like, okay, so this is working. So I met another photographer here in Vegas, great photographer. I didn't know he shoot almost like he's pretty good as me. Yeah, I was like, what? Because this customer, they hire me for the photo booth company that I have.
Okay.
I do have a photo booth company, and they hire me for the video too. But they didn't hire me for photographer. So I'm like, what? Let me see who's
my specialty.
I'm like, what? You didn't hire me? Let me see who was it. And I saw his work, and I'm like, okay, he's good.
Gotcha.
I'm so excited. I want to go and meet him.
Yeah.
And I did meet him, and I did talk to him. Great guy. And I show my work. He's like, oh, that's good, man. And then I asked, because every time I go and see someone, I ask for advice. I don't care.
I love that. No ego.
I don't care.
No
I don't get no ego. Don't hurt. I don't
learn.
care. You heard me. But it's gonna make me grow.
That's just the fact you're willing to ask questions. I feel like most people's ego is too big, and hey, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that. First day I went to the gym, walked up to the biggest guy. What have I got to do to look like you? It's the same concept, right? You never know what you can learn. You can always learn from someone else.
You can learn from everybody. You just have to humble yourself. You can
humble. I love that.
You I'm telling you, I learn every day, one day, and that's one of the things that why I stay with the bank, because I can do the photography full time, and I'll be fine. But the reason that I work with the bank is because what you learn at the bank, and the customers that you meet every day. Because I meet so many customers, and you learn from customers too. Because I had this customer one day. He'd sit down and he's like, "If you don't learn one thing every day, you waste your day."
I like that. I can 100%.
And that I was like, wow.
I can 100% say I learn something every single day because I read every single day. So I can definitely say. And now doing stuff like this helps a lot too.
Yeah. And then another day at my meetings, they say something about don't get upset if one of your brothers, sister doesn't say hi to you, or it doesn't like you look like he's mad. Don't take it personal. You don't know what he's going through, that person.
Or being through, yeah.
So I had a big problem with myself because my temper was very awful.
Really?
Yeah, awful. And a point where I couldn't like even stand myself. One day I was driving, and this car almost hit us, like literally. And I got so mad, and we were going for a trip with my family, and I got so mad, so upset that I end up fighting with my wife, arguing with my wife, and we canceled the trip.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was not even worth it because I got just so upset because of the fact the guy, we almost had an accident because of that. And then one day I was laying down and I'm like, I need to change. I need to change my attitude because probably the guy on the car, he's fine. He continued with his life, but I ruined my day. And
you let it affect you.
Yeah. So I changed my mentality.
I didn't understand that.
So I changed my mentality, and what I did is that every time something or someone is acting with attitude or something bad or treat you bad, I switch my brain and say, he's probably having a problem. His family sick. He's probably going through a situation where he's acting or behaving this way. Or when I go to T-Mobile and T-Mobile, they treat you by the guy. Probably he's not getting paid enough. So he's tired. So
putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Exactly. But I don't do it because of them.
You do it to help you.
Yeah. I do it for me because this way, I'm calm. And I don't get upset. And that's so amazing. My life is smooth.
I'm exactly the same. It's not what happens to you, it's the way you react on what happens to you. And there's a book, like I said, I read a lot, and that's what's helped me become the person I am today. And there's a book that I read, there's a guy in a bus with two kids, and the two kids are terrorizing the bus and they're annoying everybody. Everybody's getting upset with these kids, and the dad's doing nothing about it. And then one guy says to the dad, hey, can you get your kids in shape? Can you get them together? He's like, I'm so sorry. We just came from the hospital where their mother died. And that goes back to exactly what you're saying, right? You just never know what that person's been through or what they're dealing with and why they're acting out the way they're at. People aren't dicks for the sake of being dicks, I feel like. Generally, they're going through something else. So you don't have to, just because someone knocks at you don't have to knock at them. Just let it go and move on. Mm-hmm. And I find, especially running a business, and you can probably relate to this, is learning not to act on emotion. Mm-hmm. It's very hard at first.
It's hard.
But the more you do it, the better you get.
Mm-hmm.
Someone doesn't pay you, you're chasing money, whatever it is, don't get upset. Don't text some stupid text. Don't make some stupid phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Let it settle. Take a minute, take a day, take a week, and then deal with it in an appropriate way.
So you learn from those mistakes, and that
100%. We've all made them, right?
Yeah,
I've definitely made them.
So that's why I make those templates. Remember those templates? And I'll share with you what I do.
So people, I will literally get to the spot and I'll share my location. I'll take pictures. I will prep them beforehand, whatever it takes for them to get to that right spot at that right time. But I learned through waiting there for half an hour, the client never showing up, like these mistakes, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm. But you learn. Like I did had a lot of those before, but I learned. And by creating those templates, and I had friends, like, for example, like I did mention before, English is not my first language. So I had a friend that they do speak properly and they have, so I asked for help and not embarrassed. Hey, this is what I want to tell my customer. Can you help me, with, to say properly, and I will text to them and they will text me back and, hey, here's for the coffee, so you have a drink or coffee, like appreciation, so, and I'm telling you, since I've used those texts, it's been working perfect because
things get smoother.
Yeah. Because if a customer call me and they need something, I just send the text. I know what's coming. I know the other question, so I gotta answer for that too.
I love that.
So
love that.
It makes my work easier, and I don't make the same mistakes, So I don't have no problem, and I tell customer, hey, this is how I work.
A mistake's only a mistake if you keep repeating it.
Exactly.
You make a mistake to learn and grow. And I've learned that. If I make a mistake, I've made so many stupid mistakes. But guess what? Like right now, my microphones weren't charged for this interview. Some reason they didn't charge. I made a mistake. I know next time I'm going to triple check them before you get even closer.
Yeah.
So I got lighting. What lighting do you use as far as strobes? Especially when you're outside, what do you use that's portable?
Yeah, so I use Godox.
Yeah, I use an 80-200s.
So depending, I love soft light.
Yeah, me
too. That's what you love. I know you
right?
Like soft light,
so elegant.
So it's a combination of the soft light and what is it called, and natural light.
Balancing the two, right? That's my favorite thing to do.
The two, and
Are you talk to me about your lighting? Are you just using single strobe? Are you cross lighting with natural? Like, do you change it all the time, or do you kind of have a set structure that, hey, this is how I light my photos to get that consistent?
So depending, you have to adapt, and you have to adapt quickly. Like I have this photo that I have it on my studio, and it's 3 lightings.
Okay.
And it's super hard to accomplish. And this
like
customer,
3 sets of 3 strobes?
3, yeah.
Plus the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really hard. And the customer asked me, I want that photo like that. And I thought that he was referring about that location, but no. He wanted it like literally the exact photo,
the same.
Like the lights in the back, the same.
Okay.
Because there was like what is it called? Like there was a light that it wasn't working because it wasn't in a park, right? And one of the light it did turn on, but the other one it didn't. And no, that's fine. I can do it in Photoshop. So I went and did the setup, the 3 lights, and then the daughter was posing, but he wasn't comfortable, because that was not what he was referring. He wanted it the same pose too.
Oh, gotcha.
So I call my wife at the moment and I say, can you take a picture? I need to see and the pose. And then I watch the pose. Oh, okay. So you want it? Yes. And he's like, I want it like that. I want the like in the back like this. I want this and this. Oh, so he wanted the same photo. So I went and accomplished, and it turned out way better. Because,
did it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because that picture was like 3 years ago when I was practicing.
So you had progressed.
Oh yeah. So that picture turned out like beautiful, and I think it's like the one that I post like 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
That's
it turned
amazing.
out beautiful, but I
That's so
was like
cool.
so happy because the fact that I was able to accomplish, replicate,
That's awesome.
let's say photo. So it's all depend like at the, 'cause when you go to the strip, I just did a photo shoot in the strip, and I only use one light,
Yep. Just
you
it's
know.
practicality, right?
Yeah,
You
so
can't be walking around with three strobes and blocking
yeah,
traffic.
yeah. So and
Yeah.
it's a matter of practicing. Like for example, this photo shoot that I did for the strip, it was another colleague photographer. She reached out to me. He's like, "Can you do a photo shoot for me?" And I feel honored because his dad is a photographer.
Gotcha. Which is cool, right?
Yeah, it's
Because he
cool.
could have
So I'm
done
like,
it. Like, yeah.
and she worked for Univision. Well, she used to work for Univision. Now she's working in a different um, company. But I feel good. I feel like, oh, that's great. Thank you for, And it's not the first time that I have another colleague reach out to me for their photos. So I feel, like great, and I feel that it's an honor for me
I
for
like that
them
a
to
lot.
choose me. So um, yeah. So in that day, I did the photo shoot at Floyland Park.
Yep.
They wanted photos with their puppies, but they look so elegant that I wanted to do something else. So I told them, hey, let's go to the Fremont. I don't have photos of Fremont with couple. And she asked me, you gonna charge me? No, I'm not gonna charge you. Let's go and have fun. And
I
that's
love
what we
doing that
did. And
sometimes.
then
Especially when you get the right person, right?
yeah,
You
and
kind of
they
want to do more
turn
with them.
and they
Yeah.
turned amazing, the photos.
That's awesome.
So it didn't hurt me. I went and had fun. The customer was happy.
And you're going to be able to leverage those photos to more work easily.
Easy.
What is your favorite photo you've taken, and what makes it your favorite? Like, I'm sure you got a couple that really stand out. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
So the ones like right now, it changed because it was the one that I had
Oh, it was
there.
until you bettered it.
Yeah, so now it's that one.
Okay.
And man, every time, I don't know, it's just that every time I do another one and I feel like I get better, so it's like I can't just have one favorite.
I love that. I got a picture of my daughter. It's the first proper photo I did is trying to be a photographer, and it's on my screensaver. And that's when I was literally the first photo I ever took, trying to be a photographer. And I guess that's kind of my first photo because I progressed so far from there, but it's so cool to see where I came from. And the fact it's my daughter's just makes it special.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, mistakes. I want to hear about some of your mistakes.
Oh, man.
I know you've got a bunch. I've got a bunch.
Oh, Jesus.
Some biggest mistakes you've made, things you've learned along the way.
Man. Horrible mistakes.
Have you done stupid stuff where your battery hasn't been charged or you forgot an SD
all the
card?
Times. At the beginning, all the time.
It's pretty nuts, right?
Yeah.
You can have this $2,000-$3,000 piece of equipment and no SD card. You can't use it. The battery's dead. You can't use it. You don't bring the lens. There's so many things you can go wrong. What have you done?
Forgot the camera.
Have you really? Did you really? I have not done that yet.
Yeah, one day I forgot the camera, man. I was excited, and then where's my camera? That's crazy. Yeah, it was the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. What do you say to someone?
Shoot, let me go and get it. No, man. You look bad.
Yeah, you do.
You look bad.
It's pretty hard to recover from that.
Yeah, you look bad in front of the customer. That was like my beginnings. But like you said, from the mistakes you learn, and then you get better and better. You charge your equipment. You buy, more. You invest. I'm huge when it comes to invest. You need to invest. And in order to invest, you need to charge more. And in order to charge more, you have to get better.
Yeah, it's
all
balance.
A link.
It's like this little balance, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all a link. So right now, let's say that I need something and it's gonna cost me $1,000, it doesn't hurt me.
Yep.
Because I'm prepared.
Yep.
Because I did my job. I did my assignment. I wake up every morning at 4 o'clock and do my job.
Yep.
It's not about lucky. Because I heard someone say, you're lucky. It's not about
Like they said, you're lucky. Lucky in what
you're
way?
lucky. That was my brother. He's like, you're lucky. You find a good woman. It's not lucky.
But you got to be the right person to attract the right person,
No,
right?
exactly. No, and it's not about luck. It's about you doing the right decisions.
Hard work. Yeah, the harder I literally heard it in a book this morning. The harder I work, the luckier I get. That's all it is, right? If you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you got. Whereas you keep trying to better yourself, things start getting better, and you move forwards.
And I tell my daughter, for every action, you get a consequence. And depending your action, you're going to get a good consequence or a bad.
How old's your daughter?
My daughter is 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good age to be thinking
so
that
it's
way.
hard. Right now, with her, it's hard. It's a hard time, but this is a time that I have to teach her good values and teach her well, you know. So for life, everything, if you do good things is gonna happen to you. So if you study, if you put your time, like you said, you get better results and you're gonna be able to have a better income. Because that's your goal, you know, have a better income so you can be a provider for your family, live better, you know, have a nice life.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's the main goal, you know. And to be honest with you, in my country, you know, you don't get that. So that's why, you know, here in the United States, I do value everything, you know.
I always talk about that. Like, immigrants appreciate this country more than Americans, or more than people who are born in America, because they don't realize how hard it is in other places. And when you come here, you got so much opportunity, and all you do is put your head down and work. And the harder you work, the further you go. Whereas, like, a lot of countries, it doesn't matter how hard you work. Like, you're in Russia right now, it doesn't matter how hard you work.
They take advantage of you. They take away your house. They can kill you in front of your house, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you here if you're willing to put the effort in. But you can't go places making excuses or blaming other people or expecting it to fall in your lap. It doesn't work that way. I had a question for you. Where do you get your work from? Do you advertise? I'm sure you're getting a lot of word of mouth. Is it more social media? Is it your reviews? What's really bringing in your consistent clients?
So you're not gonna believe it, but 5 years ago, driving to California to visit a family, we were at the Pollo Loco, and I took a picture of my wife and the kids, the grandkids, and it was the right photo. I would say good lighting, and what happened is that it was normal. I just, you know, took the pictures, and then I maybe like 3-4 months later, I got a message from Google, say congratulations, your photo hit 10,000 Ks or something like that, and I was like,
Where did you post the photo?
I just did a review.
Okay.
I did a review of Pollo Loco and posted.
Oh, okay.
And I put.
So is your picture on another business's page?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on Google, and somehow then Google, I got the email from Google, and I noticed that Google, my name start popping up. So now I'm been doing more reviews and put pictures. Like if I go everywhere I go and I do a photo shoot, I put the picture on that place. They say that I go to any casino and I do a picture, I tag the casino.
Gotcha.
If I go to a park, if you go right now on Google Aliante Park, you'll see my photos there.
Gotcha.
The picture that I've done in Aliante Park.
Okay, I've done the same thing. Yeah.
So
that's a great, and then everyone at that park who looks at the page is gonna.
Yeah. So everybody that goes to the park, they will see.
It's funny you say that. Even with my podcast clips, you've seen the short clips. I tag EOS, I tag LVAC. You go to LVAC hashtag, there's so many of my clips popping up.
Right.
Just from doing the same thing.
That's great.
If you don't do that, you're not going to stand out. And that's, if I'm talking fitness, I'm tagging fitness related things. So I love that. That's a great idea.
So that's what I do.
And that's helping you get work.
I do. I ask, every time I ask, like this customer that I did yesterday, I asked, how do you find me? And he told me Yelp.
Okay, so you're getting that feedback too.
Yeah, so Yelp, Google. So right now, most of my customers is Google and Yelp.
Okay.
And I don't pay a dime.
Really?
I don't pay nothing.
Just because you're shooting other places? What a cool idea.
I don't know. To be like I said, if you ask me how do I do it, I don't know. I'm just doing my work, and whatever I'm doing is working. And if it doesn't work, I change it out. And if I find something that it might work, I try it. And I keep doing it, because
you're doing the best job you possibly can. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Natural versus strobes. You ever shoot natural?
Yes, and I have a few.
When do you shoot natural?
When there's some, right now it's a trending that a lot of photos, they use natural and they put a filter
like that washed out wedding look.
Yeah.
Do you like that look?
I do not.
No, I do not either.
So I do have done it.
It's very done, but everyone seems to be doing it.
You know what? It's easy. Because
it also is easy, right?
It's easy, but because
people want it, people paying the money
natural,
for that.
Yeah. I seen photographers.
That you're talking about that very washed out natural wedding,
yes,
deserty type picture,
There's
right?
one photo of this lady that she went to Paris and took that picture. That you can see that you can barely see the tower.
So, because it's so washed out.
And I'm like, how can they love a picture like that if you don't see? The main reason is to show the
Eiffel Tower. You're in a different country, yeah.
But it is what it is. Everybody has a different style.
That's interesting.
And I've done it to prove that I can do it. Like.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But I just love the colors and the richness of the brightness and
the control that lighting gives you, right?
Yeah.
Because you could be, I've shot pictures in people's front yard and I've had lighting and it doesn't look like their front yard. I'm like, damn. No. Even I'm impressed. I'm like, I can't believe I shot that in this person's front yard.
I can literally take you to where I did my last photo. You'll be like, you did it here?
Yeah. Where was it?
It's in a little park close from my house. It's like literally
but nothing special, right?
No.
Just a little bit of open space and some lighting. Yeah, it's like some talent.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I totally can relate.
Because when I took the customer there, the customer were down and like, is it here? Yeah, it's here. And they would look for the place. Are you sure it's here? Yeah. And when they saw the final result, they were like so impressed and so happy.
Have you ever had that? I had that recently where people they're a little bit worried on the location, like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they see the photos like, oh my God, I was a little bit worried at first. I put my trust in you and now I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So you're talking about that, right?
That's exactly what happened to that customer. Because he was like, wait the final. Trust the photographer.
Love that.
So that's why I always tell a customer, go and look. Not only look on their photo, look on their reviews. See what other people are saying about your job. If any business, if you go and you don't see there's no review or there's bad review, because on their review you cannot lie. They're honest. You can see when it's a fake customer or not. So do the research. Because there's a lot of people, anyone can open a shop and say that he do mechanic or he's, but at the end of the day, they might not know,
No, I love that. I want to thank you for your time. Hey, that was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm definitely going to hit you up and come shoot with you and learn from you.
Yeah.
And everything you just said just resonated with me, and I can get better. I can learn from people with more experience, and I definitely need to do that. So I'd like to thank you, and just for inspiring me too. That's been great.
Yeah.
So and you're just a very stand-up person, which is the best thing about you. So thank you.
Thank you for having me here, man. And I hope this is not the last time.
No, I definitely have to do this again.